Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video, I'm going to look at my team going into Game Week 1 for this year's FPL season of 2026. So here we go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So before we go through the team, let's talk about some strategies. Now, last season I finished around the 7k mark and I adapted some few new strategies that's helped me out. Now, I'm not saying it's going to help me out this season because every season is different, but I just want to talk to you guys about it because it might help you guys as well. So, trends, right? A lot of people will look at the teams and the fixtures and think, okay, around a certain game week, we need to start bringing these kind of players. I'll give you an example, right? So let's just look at Chelsea as an example. You can see that a lot of people has João Pedro. They don't have a second Chelsea player. And then they look ahead and they think to themselves, okay, in Game Week 4, they got Hull City, and then they've got Brentford in Game Week 5, and in Game Week 6, they've got Bournemouth. So a lot of people might plan ahead and think to themselves, okay, do you know what? Around the Game Week 4, I need to start bringing more Chelsea players. Now, what I did last season is I brought those players in before a lot of people brought them in. And that helped me out a lot. But that can only happen if you don't have any injuries or you're actually doing okay, and you don't have any red cards. You're not forced to make any transfers. So I'm going to try and continue with that strategy to bring players ahead of time, to kind of get them in, and then start thinking about when it hits Game Week 4, where a lot of people put those players in that I already got. Look at the next trend. Look at the next fixtures. Which fixtures which other teams has got really good couple of fixtures that I need to start focusing on. So that's one big strategy that I'm going to continue to do. And the second strategy is team value. Before, when I played this game, I didn't really look at the team value too much, right? Because you know that throughout the season, you're going to have a lot of players dropping in prices. You're going to have a lot of players rising. And I did okay, towards the end of the season with a decent amount of value. But last season, I looked at that so much more, and it kind of dictated my transfers. Sometimes when you're forced to do something where you're not too sure about, I didn't make those moves. But when a player is dropping in price, and is going down by 0.1 with the team value that you have like right now, which is 100, that hurts a lot at the early stages. So I want to really look into that and make sure that that does not happen, and I can start building the team value moving forward. So when I get towards the end or towards the second half of the season, when I wildcard, I'll have a decent amount of money in the bank to kind of make big changes. And the third strategy that has helped me out last season was to kind of keep up with really good players. Not make too many risk moves and try to stay within the template, but I have one or two differentials to kind of help me out. I don't really want to have a yo-yo season where I'm in the top million, then I have a really good game week and I'm in the top 100k. I don't really want that because you could drop a lot as well. I want to try and maintain it, so if I'm in the top 1 million, top 500 at the early stages, that's fine by me. I know it sounds boring, but it really does help maintaining a rank. And the last bit is the bench boost. I am going to be using my bench boost in Game Week 1 instead of Game Week 2. Because I think in Game Week 1, because you got the unlimited transfers, you can make all those little adjustments before Game Week 1, press that button, hope for the best, and move onwards. So that is my strategy. So I can kind of look ahead and start bringing in other players in the upcoming game weeks. So let's go through the team. Now I've got Verba Brogan and Raya. So quite expensive goalkeepers here. I could really go for like a 0.4 and kind of spread that money elsewhere by removing Raya. I'll do that when I wildcard. I think for now, if I'm bench boosting, the only reason I went for Raya is just want to double up on the Arsenal defense. I'm looking for another 0.4 that has got really good home fixture. I can't really find any. If I do, then I might, remove this player that is from Coventry against Arsenal. Not really sure they're going to get anything there. But also I can downgrade Raya and then kind of use that money elsewhere. So something like, as an example like this, just go for another Arsenal defender here and go for Kinski from Tottenham. So I kind of get another 2 cheap goalkeepers. I got Reece James. I got João Pedro. A lot of people are going to be looking at Reece James if he starts to do well. He's playing, he's fit. The next fixture is against Brighton at home, and looking long term, I already got that player. I already got those players. People are going to be looking at bringing them around the Game Week 4 mark. So I'm trying to be ahead of it a little bit. I'm trying to have those players in place right now, so I'm not forced to wildcard. I got Diop from Ipswich against Sunderland at home. Got Shaw and Fernandes. I think this is a really good home away fixture against Hull, then a home fixture against Ipswich. Really, really good. I could go for Maguire. I think Maguire may be a little bit more expensive, so let me just have a quick look. There we go, 5 million. So I could do that. Look, there are, this is like 90% pretty much, 90% done, 90% locked. There's a few bits and pieces that I need to sort out. Szoboszlai, not the best fixture against away Newcastle, but Newcastle is just, they're losing players here and there. I think this is a good chance for Liverpool to do well and then they got a home fixture against Nottingham Forest. Not the best fixtures there, but I want Szoboszlai because of these, set pieces and penalties and so on. Pascal would definitely help me out, being 5.5, and if he's still on penalties, we just need to see how Brighton does. I think tomorrow they're playing, but there's definitely risk in the Brighton players. I do want to bring in a Brentford player. I think like Kevin is a decent cheap 6 million. Not many managers got him. I think 3.4. So this is what I was talking about. My strategies, having a 3.4, under 5, and 6% here for Odegaard. Trying to bring these players in that is big differentials. You can see João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin and Haaland is a template, right? And there's a couple other templates like Fernandes, Szoboszlai, one of the Arsenal defenders there, and the goalkeepers. They are template players. But then I've got like Odegaard, who could do really well against Coventry, and that could really help me out. So this is why I'm doing that. One of the other players that I'm looking at is Ndai. He is 6 million as well. So there we go. But there are transfer rumors that he might go. But I feel like I am like pretty much set. I'm gonna captain Haaland. I'm not gonna get rid because he's just a player that could do really well. Got Brentford cover, Brighton. Got lots of Arsenal for the bench boost. Calvert-Lewin, maybe another Leeds defender could be something that I could bring in. But they got a decent fixture next game week, so I don't know. So if I was bench boosting in game week 2, then yes, I probably would do that. I've got the cover of the 2 Manchester United players. I am a little bit behind on Liverpool, but I just need to see how they're gonna kind of play and set up for this season. Then I can start bringing their players in. So this is how it's looking like going into game week 1. There's a few little adjustments that I want to make with the Arsenal players. I really want Raya, because then what I'm thinking to do, so if I go back to that transfer, there we go. So let's just say like this, right? I could bank the transfer in game week 2, remove Raya, and get any 4.0 goalkeeper like this. Then I've got 2 million to spend, and I can go ahead and upgrade like Odegaard to 8.5, and then I can go and get Semenyo. So this is what I'm thinking. This is my kind of strategy going into game week 3. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That's what I'm thinking to do. There's a few bits and pieces missing, and I'm not 100% confirmed, so I'll say it's about 90% done. I'll continue to think, and I'll see what I want to do. I think this is quite of a good strategy, bringing Semenyo for game week 3, because if we look, what do they have? There we go. They've got Coventry at home, then Manchester United away, then it's Sunderland at home, Ipswich at home. So I really want to bring in another Manchester City player. I just need to see how they kind of perform because they lost a couple of really good players. I just want to see how they kind of set up with this new manager. Let me know in the comments below what I should do, and I think I am pretty much set. Whew. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate you guys watching my video. Please give the video a like as well, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.